Hi, Loic from 10 again, showing you how to use the particle system in Toon Boom Harmony 12. In the last video, I showed how to use the sprite emitter and the velocity node in order to prepare your scene for large rainfall. And it is time for us to make it move. And this is with the gravity node. So let's see, if I enable that node here, we can see that suddenly all my particles are affected by gravity. It's a bit slowing down, but we can see the result here. And if I go in the setting, gravity node is pretty much straightforward. Trigger if it's enabled or not. Apply gravity, obviously check this on, and you can choose the gravity direction. Let's say I was to choose one into X direction, you will see this updated as the gravity to go into the X axis, which is not what we want in that case. In that situation, I set up the Y direction to minus .0.05, and note to by default gravity is set to either 1 or -1, but I always find it's give way too much speed to small particles such as rain, so I set up to a way more smaller number, which is 0.05. You could also put it in the Z direction, and if you wanted, which is not necessary in case of a rainfall, you could apply gravity between the particle to avoid collision. And you could set the relative gravity magnitude, relative gravity epsilon, which I'm not sure exactly what it's doing. I think it's for the collision, and the maximum distance, so at what distance the particles start interacting with each other. But this is not necessary for a simple rainfall. So with that already set, we have a pretty cool rain happening here. Note that I generate the rain behind the layer of cloud, so that way it seems to fade in the distance. But you can see right now that the rain is going down like past the camera set, and this could be problematic if there were like camera movement or something. So I use another node called a sync to stop the particle simulation below the camera. If I enable the sync, you can see right now that the raindrop here just disappear. A sync is really simple. It's simply an area that you can say if you want the particle only to be generated in that area or not in that area. In that case, I said not in that area by clicking invert. And if I see the 3D region by pressing Shift function 11, you see that I have a 3D region here, which work like a dead zone for the particle emission from above. You can move that region by applying a peg to it. So it's pretty much that for the particle generation for the rain with gravity based. In the next video, I'll cover a bit about the particle baker and a bit of the compositing required in the picture to achieve the final result.